What's going on, everybody? Cell broke loose. Let me see if I can get some light better on here. A little better light. There's some cowards make videos and they don't want you to see their eyes. Now, I don't mind being read. You can read me, read my eyes and all that, and detect for truth or whatever. Sometimes this is a hell broke loose. This is a religion video, religion and politics. Sometimes I'll go days in a row and wake up and wonder what the fuck is wrong with this world. Everything works on this planet. Everything works except humanity. We don't work. We fucking kill each other. Way worse than the wild animals do. Every now and then they gotta have a power fight for alpha male of whatever pack they are, like a wolf. He might have to kill a young wolf that just keeps pushing and pushing, and he don't have in mind killing. He is the protector of the pack, and he has to remove whatever's in his way. But the animals live together. Humans don't. And we're just another thing. We're just another thing on this fucking planet. Like a tree, like a rock, like a honey badger, like a wolf, coyote, hummingbird. There's one goddamn thing that separates us from the rest of the animals on the planet, and that is self-consciousness. When we look in the mirror, we know what we're looking at. There's funny videos. You can go to YouTube and watch them, like a monkey or a cat or something. Well, sees reflection in a video and run from it and sneak back up on it. Even a chimp or a monkey, and they're smart for animals. I don't guess there's any way to test a dolphin. They're supposedly the smartest animal on the planet. I don't see how you could test one. I guess you could drop a big mirror underwater or something. Be interesting they've probably already done it. There's not original thought. There are original thoughts that come about, but they're not mine. I like being up on them, though. I like being up to date on the new thoughts that come about. The idea, the very idea that this universe that we see, that we have pictures of now, we have pictures of nebula that are just out of this world. Thousands and thousands and thousands of light years away. Most of the population doesn't even stop and imagine what a light year is. That's just a touch over 186,000 miles per second. Just think about that for a few seconds. Just take a few seconds. 186,000 miles per second. Just think how far. If there's a star going by up there at light speed, just think how far it has gone just since I brought up this topic. Just since I started this video, 4 minutes and 40 seconds ago. The makeup of the human body, the brain. We operate with invisible thoughts. The brain is a fascinating part of our body. It can think, it can plan, it can feed us, it can be full of fear. The brain can trigger happiness and joy. The DNA in us that defines us halfway, 50-50 DNA and social impact on us. So here we are, these creatures on earth with self-conscious, with self-awareness. Self-awareness, that's what it is, not self-consciousness. Self-awareness. And with this ability to think, humans wonder what's out there besides us. Is there another planet? That was probably the first thought. Is up there when they started paying attention to the stars and stuff, wondering if there's more of us up yonder. I doubt very seriously if the first thought in their mind was that there was this super being that created everything. Pre-hominid. The shit and wipes himself with his hands. You know, a God created that. You know, I'm an atheist. Atheists have no belief in any gods. Satan, Yahweh. No. I'm one of the atheists that go a step further. I say there is no God. I say it. There isn't a God. It's against all rationality that there's a God. Well, when men got to thinking, and I say men because it's always been men up to now. We'll get up to equality. We might not touch equality in this video. Equality didn't start till modern times. In the 60s. We're talking about in my lifespan. Equality started in my life. Before that, it was all men competing for power. Well, this self-awareness led to thought. And that first thought led to building shelters, figuring out stuff to eat, survival. Those are the first thoughts. And then advanced way forward to the Sumerians and thoughts of building cathedrals, giant buildings, the thoughts of creating language so that people could talk to one another and they each understood what a word meant and they could convey back and forth how they felt and what they thought. Well, the Sumerians invented that, and that was before the Garden of Eden. So that was a big discovery, discovering discussion, diction, verbiage. That was big. That was a big step forward. And there's a God in all this? Really? There's a God that puts together DNA and came teach us to talk? I mean, I may be sounding ridiculous here because to me, I can't hardly find the words to describe the insanity, pure fucking insanity of believing in the Bible God. I'm not going to say, pantheist, Deists, I'm not going to say they're insane. They have no description of God. Their God has no human emotion. It's a force that kicks shit into action and has no dealings with us or other life in the universe. And us humans, since we became self-aware, since we learned to talk, we have been slowly destroying this planet and each other. Fucking come real easy. So we populated real fast. You know, Sumerians were here about 10,000 years ago. That's when their records ended. Don't know what happened to them. But the Jews stole the Sumerians had written some manuscripts, and the Jews stole them because they couldn't write yet. They couldn't come up with stories, and the Sumerians taught them how to read and write. The Jews didn't even live in a town, in a city. They had tents, and they roamed around with goats and sheep and sold them or traded them for food or whatever. And after the Sumerians taught them to read and write, they took those manuscripts and made them their own. They ripped them off. And they invented God. It's just that fucking simple. Now, there's details in my story that are off. No doubt about it. You know, time-wise, how long the Sumerians lived, how the Jews went about learning to read and write and stuff like that. I don't have every detail of this story perfect, but I've got the gist of the matter. I've got the basic message that I'm trying to give you. I'm right on. So they made up gods. The pagans made up gods first. And, you know, in my studies of evolution, I didn't finish the last 20, 30,000 years. And I should have. Because when I debate, the only hole I hit where I have to say I don't know, that's out of my realm, is in the last 30,000 years. I don't know who created the first God. It may have been the Sumerians. I don't know. So let me get on with the message here. Men invented the idea that a God created human beings with all our body parts, the ability to breed and make a baby. It's marvelous. A woman carries inside of her a child after it forms life. It's not a life form until it can exist on its own. You fucking pro-birthers out there are insane. Take a 3-week-old embryo out and lay it on the table and see what happens. It's not a life form. Take a 2-month embryo and lay it out and see what happens. It's not a life form. It's going to die immediately. But then if a woman carries it on to term, once 6 months hits, you know, the baby's breathing and it's a life then, because women have delivered preemies by 3 months, I think. And the little ones are a pound and a half, and they have a hell of a time. They can't make it without human help. So if a 6-month-old can't make it without the best technology in the world, how in the hell is a 3-month-old gonna How can you call that a life? You're not aware of anything. So that gets rid of the pro-birther bullshit. But one God wasn't enough. And they started inventing a bunch of gods. And then they found out that the best way to rule the world is to say there is only one God. See, Allah and Jehovah, Yahweh, are the same God. The same God as the Jews. Jews don't have Jesus. Jesus has yet to come for the Jews. So they're right. With Christians, Jesus has already come, but one trip wasn't enough. He's going to come back. I don't know what the fuck the Muslims are working for except for 72 virgins. I'd rather have 72 experienced hookers myself, but they want 72 virgins. And I did the math on that one time. It meant there'll be 375 billion. Billion. 375 billion virgins in the sky. Probably already that many. With the ones who have died, they get them as soon as they go to heaven. Right. So there's going to be trillions. There'll be, by the time it's all said and done, and the bullshit of Islam is buried, and it's just in museums, and Christianity, the Bible's in a museum, like the Declaration of Independence. There'll be trillions of virgins up in the sky, and of course they aren't virgins yet. No more a virgin, because them little short-peckered killers, barbarians, had to fuck them. So that's all their fairy tale. But I told it like I was talking there for a minute like it was true. Humans believe that. 1.5 billion humans believe that when a man dies nobly, serving Allah, he goes to heaven and gets 72 virgins. Now, lately, there's been conflicts to that story. The exact number has been argued about and all that. I ain't arguing with nobody about it, because it's all a fucking crock of bullshit. That's all. And then we got the Christian belief. And Tom, I'm not going to talk as if the Trinity's true. Because you know what? If you believe in the Trinity, you're fucking nuts. Thomas Jefferson refused to even engage in a debate with someone who believed in the Trinity. It's an impossibility. It's as insane as you can get. And 90% of religions believe in a Trinity. That God, the creator of the fucking earth, Jesus, and the Holy Ghost, whatever the hell that is. Yeah, I mean, what the hell's the Holy Spirit? The Holy Ghost. It's just words they say that sound sanctimonious. And if you say them enough, you're blessed. Another sanctimonious word. So the Christians believe, most of them, that God, Jesus, come down to earth a couple thousand years ago, and he knocked up a woman in space. You know, he had him he jacked off and grabbed a handful of sperm cells and hurled. He did one. He hurled them through space, man. Like pitching a baseball, and they landed inside of the Virgin Mary, and one of them sperm cells caught the egg, and the egg is that person or God that threw the egg. You with me? That's the Trinity. He threw an egg of himself into the woman. The moral of this story is, all of this bullshit has robbed us of any chance of a meaningful life. People making $250,000 a year shouldn't be in debt, but a lot of them are. The millionaires, there's no way they're happy. They have no idea what life is about. The richer you get, the more out of touch you get with life. And then besides laws, man makes rules. Socially enforced rules of what you're supposed to do and not supposed to do. You're supposed to go to college as soon as you get out of high school when you're least likely to learn good shit. You're supposed to get married to the opposite sex and knock her up a whole bunch of times. You're supposed to do that. And for Brian Cabral, you're supposed to go to bed at certain times. Y'all know Brian Cabral. He's my own personal psychopath. I mention him every now and then. I made a video at him earlier. I don't expect many people to watch them. The idea of the Bible God, the Bible Jesus, the Virgin Mary, is pure fucking insanity. You're goddamn crazy. You're off your rocker. You're loop-de-loop. And you've ruined billions of lives. Billions. Whether it's people going walking through with their sights set on the future that's promised to them. Saw a meme the other day, two guys sitting on a cloud said, well, it's been 38 billion years. What are you going to do now? Is that your idea? You believers in the afterlife, that life goes on, you Christians, you religious people, you want that? You want to live to be 38 billion years old sitting on a fucking cloud? See, the Bible don't tell any stories about you transferred to another planet where there's a lot faster cars and men have bigger peckers and women have humongous tits, all of them, like 78 D cup, shit like that. Now, the Bible don't tell you anything that's enticing about an afterlife. Nothing. That's the one thing I'll credit Jehovah's Witnesses with, and that's what made death so dreadful, was they believed that life went on forever on Earth. And Earth was supposed to end, humanity was supposed to end in 1975. Well, I sweated my balls off in 1975, because I knew damn well there ain't no way I'm making it, because every woman I looked at that was pretty, I looked at her with lust in my heart. And I swallowed the Kool-Aid when I was young. So I knew when I was 11 or 12, I was damned. That's it. So they ruined my life. And when you're faced with the options of living on Earth, which is very interesting, I wouldn't mind a few thousand years on Earth. I could pull that off, but I'd probably be ready to go after 400 or 500. You Christians, all of you in a bundle. You're all just fucking nuts. You ruined my life. My coach told me that I could get a scholarship playing football to damn near any college I wanted. He called the house and begged my dad to let me play for the football team. But that's against the religion rules. And they don't want you getting any education. I'd have been a hell of a lawyer. I'd have gone to law school or got started at law school. And then if I was still healthy and up to par, I'd have gone to the NFL and made me a bunch of money. And then I'd have been an attorney. And if it's this same person, if this same person, if the sperm cell hit that sperm cell hit that egg, and I ended up just like this, but I wasn't in a Jehovah raised in a cult, I'd have a hell of a life. And then there's the music in it. I was born very talented. Born that way. I can't help it. That's not bragging. You know, pretty people can't brag about how they look. That makes me sick. It makes me just want to do, fuck you. You don't have a goddamn thing to do with how you look, so why are you holding it over somebody's head? What makes you superior to a person that ain't so curvy? That ain't so good looking? And shut the fuck up and go away. You're just like everybody else. You know, I had no trouble with women. I loved women, and I was never arrogant about it. You know, I felt sorry for guys that wasn't as fortunate as me. I just had to make this video. There are no gods. There's no Jesus. There's no fucking Satan. Okay, there's no Hebrew religion gods, okay? They're not there. And you people that believe in it have ruined the fucking world. Even you lefties. You paved the way for the right-wing nut jobs to keep on doing what they're doing. You enable them. You're the window dressing. When not all Christians are like that. And that's what keeps Christianity going. Well, they're not real Christians. All the thousands of denominations, as long as they say they're not real Christians. Well, they're not real Christians. There's another group over here saying this one ain't real Christians. Y'all realize how stupid you are? Religion needs to stop right now. The Bibles all need burnt right now, except for few for museums. It's a fucking deadly weapon. It's like a disease. The Bible's like Ebola. You know, some people don't die from it, and a lot of people do die from it. The Bible has cut science from making our lifespan much longer. I got no respect for anybody, I got respect for the person, but if they want me to respect them going to church, I ain't got no respect for that. None whatsoever. I never considered myself a smart person. I always just figured, hell, if I can do it, anybody can do it. That's been my motto in life. I ain't all that. You know, I like making people laugh, and I like playing music, but I figure everybody's got a talent. They got a talent that's equal to mine, just doing something else. No religion. We need no religion, like John Lennon said. Imagine no religion. Well, about 40 minutes ago, this is the longest video I've ever made, I imagined no religion. something else too. All right, everybody. That's how broke Lucy. Sorry to bore you. Hope it didn't bore you. Hope I inspired you. I hope I inspired my fellow anti-religionists, my fellow atheists, fellow secularists, everybody with a brain. All the group I just named are smarter than everybody else. Don't mean we're geniuses. We're just smarter than everybody else. So keep rocking. Love you.